For this assignment, the problem I chose to modify had to deal with computing work. I chose a problem from a pre-calculus book by Michael Sullivan, and the original text problem asks, if a girl is pulling a wagon with a force of 30 pounds, how much work is done in moving the wagon 200 feet if the handle makes a 30-degree angle with the ground? I chose to modify this lesson for a couple of reasons. First of all, how it's stated does not give the students the opportunity to ask why this is the case. They are just given a formula and given numbers to substitute in with no real understanding of what these values represent. Also, this is the exact same problem as the sample problem on the previous page, which states, a girl is pulling a wagon with a force of 50 pounds. How much work is done in moving the wagon 100 feet if the handle makes an angle of 30 degrees with the ground? As you can see, they have just changed the values of the force and how far the wagon is moving. And we're already given exactly how to solve this problem step by step. The purpose of this lesson is to give students an understanding of what the different variables in the work equation represent through a hands-on activity. The objectives are that the students will be able to determine which relative angle produces the most work, and students will be able to explain the role an angle plays when determining work. We're going to obtain these objectives using the 5E model. So for our first E, which is engagement, a student will be asked to volunteer to come up to the front of the classroom and push a filing cabinet using 3 different methods. The first method is to attempt to push the cabinet with their arms making a very large angle to the floor. Next, they will try to push it with their arms making a slightly smaller angle with the floor, and lastly, they will push the filing cabinet with their arms being parallel to the floor. They will discuss with the class which method was most difficult for them to push and which was the easiest. For the exploration part of the lesson, the students will be put into groups of 3. They will be given a box similar to this one shown here with ropes attached to it. But this box will be filled with textbooks, laptops, weights, or anything else to make it heavy and difficult for the students to pull. They will take turns pulling the box. Each of them will first attempt to pull the box using the ropes to where the rope is making a very large angle with the floor, and they will pull the box again, this time making the rope make a very small angle to the floor. Through this, they will be able to tell that it's easier to pull the box with the smaller the angle gets. After they have discovered that this is the case, they will begin to discuss why this might be. We will talk about how when you pull or push an object, your force is being separated into a vertical component and a horizontal component. And since we're not trying to move the box or cabinet any vertically, we want all our force that's applied to go horizontally. From this, the students will determine we achieve this by lowering the angle. After the students understand the role the angles play in determining how much work is needed, they will be presented with a new problem that challenges them to apply the concepts they've learned in determining how to compute work when 2 forces are applied. They will be asked to illustrate 2 methods a box will remain the same when 2 equal forces are applied, as well as one way a box will be pushed in a specific direction when the forces are the same. The students will be evaluated based on how well they work with each other, their participation, class discussion, and worksheets given out during the elaboration portion of the lesson. All of these assessments will be evaluated using pre-made rubrics. The benefits of this lesson are it is more interesting for the students because they are actively involved in their learning. They get to explore for themselves and discuss the answer using hands-on activities, and because they are actively involved in their learning, they will be more likely to gain a deep understanding of the material being taught. And here's my references.